Today, we are pulling back the curtain on 5 seriously powerful psychological techniques. These are the tricks used to influence, persuade, and, yeah, sometimes even control. So, let's get right into it.
I mean, seriously, what if you could convince your boss to see things your way, or persuade a friend, or even influence a total stranger? This isn't some kind of magic. It's the subtle art of psychological influence, and it's a tool used by some of the most powerful people in the world. And today, we're going to break down exactly how it works.
But hang on, before we dive in, let's be super clear about something. We're sharing this for one reason, so you can understand and defend yourself against it, not so you can go out and manipulate people. The goal here is to recognize these techniques, not to use them unethically. Okay? Okay.
All right, kicking off our countdown at number 5, we have the illusion of choice. Have you ever noticed how much people, including you and me, hate being told what to do? It's just, we're all hardwired with this deep need to feel like we're in control. And this technique, it masterfully plays on that exact feeling.
So, check this out. Instead of asking a straight yes or no question like, want to go out, which is super easy to say no to, you frame the question with 2 options that both get you what you want. Hey, should we go to Pizza Hut or Domino's tonight? See what happened there? The other person feels like they're making the decision, but you've already guided them to a yes for going out. It's control, just disguised as a choice. And trust me, this isn't some little-known trick. It is a cornerstone of modern marketing and politics. I mean, think about a subscription service asking if you want the pro or the premium plan. Notice how they kind of leave out the no plan at all option? They're giving you the illusion of choice while steering you exactly where they want you to go.
Okay, so from shaping a choice, we move on to our number 4 trick, which is all about building momentum. This is called the yes ladder technique. Look, if you need a huge favor, asking for it out of the blue is usually a recipe for disaster. This method, it's all about paving a path to that yes.
So the psychology behind this one is all about consistency. You start by getting someone to agree to a bunch of really small, easy requests. Each yes makes the next one feel psychologically easier, and it creates this pattern of agreement. You're basically getting them into the habit of saying yes to you before you drop the one big request you really want.
And here's a perfect example of how it works in the real world. Instead of just barging in and demanding a promotion, you climb the ladder. First, you get an easy yes to joining a meeting, then another yes to taking on more work, then a third yes for a leadership workshop. By the time you finally ask about that promotion, your boss has already said yes to you over and over. For them to say no now would feel, well, inconsistent. It goes against the pattern they've already established.
Coming in hot at number 3, we're shifting gears from logical persuasion to something way more primal, raw human emotion. This one is called the guilt trap.
And this quote just hits the nail on the head. This technique taps into one of the most powerful social glues we have, this idea of reciprocity. You scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. If you can make someone feel guilty or like they owe you one, they'll feel this almost irresistible urge to settle that debt, and they'll often throw logic right out the window.
Let's just break down this classic example. Asking to borrow a car directly, that's a huge ask, and you're probably going to get a quick no. But what if you first remind them of a time you helped them out? Hey, remember when I covered your shift last month? Well, I just need a small favor. The whole dynamic just completely flips. You've activated that sense of owing you. They feel obligated to return the favor, making it incredibly hard for them to say no.
All right, now for a technique that is much more complex and, frankly, a lot more potent. At number 2, we have false memory planting. This one doesn't just influence a decision, it actually targets the very fabric of a person's reality, their memory.
Here's a kind of terrifying truth. Our memories are not perfect video recordings, not at all. They're actually pretty malleable, they're suggestible, and that's the weakness this technique goes after. It's not just about repeating a lie. By confidently stating a lie, adding in some plausible details, and doing it from a position of authority, a skilled persuader can literally help write a new memory into someone's mind.
And you see this play out on a huge scale. A politician might start by making a bold claim at a rally. Then they'll repeat a version of it to the media. Then they'll say it again in an interview, with total conviction. After hearing it enough times, people's brains can start to treat the lie as a fact. They start thinking, you know, I do remember hearing about that. It must be true. And they might even base their vote on that implanted memory.
And now for the number 1 most powerful and maybe the most surprising trick of them all. It's not about what you say, it's about what you don't say. This is the power of silence.
You know, psychology shows us that silence is anything but empty. It holds immense power. We're so conditioned to think the person talking is the one in control, but so often it's the person who knows how to listen and strategically use silence. An awkward pause creates this psychological vacuum, this tension that the other person feels an overwhelming need to fill, and they often do it by revealing way more than they ever intended to.
Here are 3 brilliant ways to use it. Trying to get a confession? Just state, "I know everything," and then say nothing. The silence will make them so nervous they'll often just start talking to break that tension. Negotiating a price? Suggest your ideal number, like, "So a 30% discount is possible, right?" And then just go silent. The salesperson will feel pressured to fill that void, often by just agreeing. And in a debate, listen to their point, then just look them in the eye, smile a little, and stay quiet. Your silence projects total confidence and can make them completely second-guess their own argument.
At the end of the day, what this all boils down to is that real control often comes from saying less. True power lies in listening and observing and letting other people reveal themselves in the silence that you create.
So there you have it, 5 powerful techniques of psychological influence, from shaping a choice all the way to weaponizing silence. The real power here isn't just knowing these tricks exist, but in developing the awareness to recognize them out in the wild. So the question I'll leave you with is this: now that you can see the strings, how will you see the world stage, from simple conversations to big-budget commercials, differently from now on?